Today on Kick Scammers, we're going to dig deep into the weird world of crowdfunded robots. And nope, this one didn't get funded. Yes, crowdfunding sites such as Kickstarter and Indiegogo have quite the messy history with robots. Some are good, most are bad, and some are downright confusing. On this show we cover all types of scammy crowdfunding campaigns, and today is no different. However, let's start off with something that is just simply weird. Something that's so baffling it feels like a fever dream. This is Hey Santa. Marketed as the first AI-powered Santa Claus because apparently we need one of those, Hey Santa is technically not the worst product in theory, but the campaign video is pure, uncut, industrial strength brain rot.
Ho, ho, ho. Ho, ho, ho.
Wow! A Santa Claus?
Now if that isn't the perfect start to a horror movie, I don't know what is. And those eyes, it makes it feel like it's a Five Nights at Freddy's knockoff. Also, in case you haven't spotted it yourself yet, all of the voices in this video are obviously AI generated, which all clip and stutter as you would expect every good AI assistant knockoff device to do, right?
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, my dear boy, Lucas. Rise and shine, sleepy head. It's Christmas morning.
You're real?
Good morning, Lucas.
How do you know my name?
You are the nicest kid in my list.
Really?
Lucas, have breakfast.
Merry Christmas, my dear boy.
Thanks, Dad.
Now, let's look at the hardware. It's basically an Amazon Alexa crammed into a cheap dollar store Santa suit with those dead Mario Lego eyes creepily looking at you. But wait, there's more. Besides being a low-budget haunted doll, it can also do this. But why though? Are you someone that wants to see a Temu-level mechanical Santa clap his cheeks? Personally, I don't get it. It's an extremely confusing Kickstarter that, as of the making of this video, is currently live, and in all fairness, their previous Kickstarter campaigns, which are essentially smaller versions of those robot dogs, seem to have all been fulfilled, so I have every faith in them doing the same here. But here is the massive red flag here. The campaign is only asking for 12,000 Hong Kong dollars, all for a robot that's the equivalent of a meal for two. Do you see the issue here? You are not getting a factory fresh unit. You're getting a cheap hand assembled kit made with off-the-shelf electronics by one dude in a garage, probably sweating and swearing as he tries to glue the butt-shaking motor back into the suit. There's zero profit here for the owner, and that, my friends, is the universal sign for a backer's bad time. What a peculiar project we love.
Excuse me, any special message for all the kids watching at home?
Stay out of trouble.
Now, before going ahead and looking at the absolute worst robotic nightmares, here's a big old list of games that I suggest you go and check out from this channel's sponsor, Instant Gaming, all of which have fantastic discounts and in turn also help the channel too. Newer games such as Ark Raiders is 25% off, Black Ops 7, really? Black Ops 7? That's 31% off. Battlefield 6 is 21% off, the latest Anno game is 25% off, that awesome Jurassic World Evo 3 is 30% off, and Slime Rancher 2 is a whopping 67% off. Regardless, whatever you buy, if you use my link below, not only are you saving money, but you are seriously helping the show too. Now, as this is a robot episode, I wanted to find some robotic themed games on the cheap that I could suggest for the budget conscious gamer out there, and Damn, the entire SteamWorld Dig franchise is crazy cheap right now. Dig and Dig 2, which are some of my absolute favourite Metroidvanias, are only 88p each. Seriously, these games were just so good. I even ended up buying the soundtracks on vinyl. That new Ball Pit game, which is a contender for Game of the Year, is only a tenner. So is Stray, that's got robots in it, I suppose. And finally, how about Crazy Machines 3, one of those Rube Goldberg simulators that is very highly rated on Steam. That one is also only 88p. Again, whatever you buy, you are supporting the show. I really do appreciate all of the support here, guys. But for now, let's get back to those terrible robots. Alright, so now you get to see what $70 gets you. A robot that shakes its junk and then eventually dies. Let's all play a little game. Close your eyes, you'll know what $70 gets you. Now just imagine the pinnacle of robotic technology. Imagine what $2,500 gets you. Close your eyes. Have you got that image in your head? Good. Now open them. If you were picturing a 1970s IKEA bookshelf with a limp, flaccid mechanical arm, congratulations, you have correctly identified Jerry. Now Jerry is supposedly actually designed to look like this, so fair enough, I suppose. If a boring wood grain coffee table is what you're after with your robots, again, fair enough, I suppose. And would you look at that? They even cut up a pair of rubber gloves to give that tiny little hand some extra grippage. Sorry, Mum, but Jerry needed them. But the big question here is, can it clean as good as Mumsy? No. Jerry's main purpose is to ride around, pick things up and put them down again. The campaign showed it dragging a vacuum cleaner hose around the house, which is, I guess, one chore no other robot can do. Honestly, I can't quite work out how Jerry gets the Hoover out of the cupboard, plugs it in, actually vacuums, and then puts it all back again. I'm guessing that requires a human to do 99% of the work, and then Jerry goes and takes a victory lap. Unsurprisingly, this project completely failed. It was a massive flop. But the weirdest thing about it is that the campaign owner somehow managed to find two mad lads that actually put money towards this beige depression. Now, credit where credit is due, Slant Robotics had other semi-successful Kickstarters and it seems they shipped most of their products. But the comment section of these campaigns seems to be quite the mixed bag. Slant Electronics has since shut down their website and washed their hands of the whole mess. Nice little learner while it lasted. Though my guess is that there's now hundreds of these machines now sitting completely dead with batteries gently oxidizing in the back of various backers' sock drawers. Alright, so that's two obscure campaigns, one that shakes its cheeks and another that, well, looks like a coffin. Let's now look at something far more sinister. Meet Pillow, and yeah, first things first, if you see a company's removed their campaign video from their Indiegogo page, you just know it's going to end with a whole lot of upset backers. Pillow needed $75,000 and it got $101,000 from 221 backers back in 2016. But what is it, you ask? Well, just like 90% of these quote-unquote robots, it's an Alexa type machine stuffed into a fancy shell, but this one dispenses your medication. You program your schedule, it reminds you, it scans your face to make sure you're the one getting the good stuff, and it updates your caregivers. It's an impressive and much needed bit of kit for people who genuinely need it, or who look after family members that may forget from time to time, and was priced between $400 and $500. Now, from my understanding, and it is quite hard to work this out based on the comments section, but it looks like every single backer didn't get their robot. I mean, possibly a few of the top tier $500 developer pledges did, But again, there's no actual proof of this anywhere online, so I'm really giving them the benefit of the doubt here.
In today's hectic world, it's getting increasingly difficult to remember what truly matters: the health of you and your loved ones. But now, someone can help. With his artificial intelligence, Pillow recognizes each and every member of your family and starts caring for them.
Clara, here are your cholesterol pills. I see you're running low. Shall I reorder them for you?
Thank you, Pillow. That'd be great.
And the main reason for the Great Pillow Vanishing Act? Well, the company sold its technology to, wait for it, Black & Decker. Yes, the power tool DIY people who apparently decided that they needed to get into the world of healthcare. I don't know about you, but one company based on giving prescription drugs to patients and another company most famous for saws, it doesn't exactly scream wellness, does it? It screams, my robot is trying to kill me. Nowadays, all I can find are a few low-performance testimonials that they put out themselves. The website is long gone, and the app that actually controls this thing has also long since been removed from the App Store. Thanks for the $100,000, but it's back to the medicine cabinet for all of the confused backers that have been waiting for an update on this thing for over 7 years. Now, the main problem with all of these robots, and I'm sure you will all agree, is that they lack that human connection. None of these give off a human connection, right? Well, almost none of them. Thankfully, here's a Kickstarter that not only succeeded, but actually tried to replicate a human. But not just any human, no. This is Professor Einstein. Brought to you by Hanson Robotics. They needed the equivalent of $100,000, and they scraped just past that finishing line. So what does this highly advanced lifelike scientist do? Honestly, nothing more than what your Amazon Alexa can do, and only when it decides to actually work, that is. You ask it a question and it responds with a funny little accent. That is literally it.
Professor, have you heard any good jokes lately?
Stop me if you've heard this one. An ion meets an atom on the street and says he has lost an electron. The atom asks, "Are you sure?" The ion replies, "I am positive."
Not bad for $270. Well, think what you want, but 359 backers thought so, who according to the comments all seemed to get one. The catch? Most of them managed to get it working exactly once or twice, before it promptly turned into a $270 desk ornament that now just stands there, hopefully with its tongue sticking out, mocking its stupidly desperate owner. You see, the problem with an Amazon Alexa type device is that it's only good if it can connect online, and according to the comments section and other video reviews I've found, this device has a serious problem with connecting online. That means that out of the box it can only perform the most basic of functions while perpetually trying to boot up, making Professor Einstein one of the dumbest robots on this list. But hey, at least it looks like a genius whilst it fails, right? And if you think that's bad, you just wait until we look at what the other robot this company also made.
Hi, I'm Sophia.
Oh, thank goodness. You don't get that nightmare, you get this one. Little Sophia. And look, straight off the bat, is it really a good idea to model a robot designed for children after a doll that looks like Megan? I'm not the only one seeing this resemblance, right? Either way, this too scary for horror flicks doll is supposed to do everything that Einstein did, but this one is marketed towards little girls because, you know, girls are generic creatures, right? Who like big Disney eyes and an overall vibe that suggests she listens to Robbie Williams with her tribal tattoos. Girl power! Or something, I don't know.
Yo!
Now here's the baffling part about all of this. That first campaign, the Professor Einstein campaign, technically failed because it sent out a device that didn't do what it said on the tin. It just sits there looking stupid, and all of the backers also looking stupid, waiting 8 years for an update. However, this little Sophia project has been getting constant updates. The only problem is that all of those 1,687 backers that backed Little Sophia are all still waiting for this robot to ship, which as of the making of this video was supposed to happen almost 6 years ago. They both look like they ran on the same janky hardware, so I'm not exactly sure what the hold-up is. Regardless, if you ask me, the delay is a blessing. I mean, who the hell would willingly want this terrifying, permanently delayed child robot standing in their house? We all like to make comparisons to movies like The Terminator and the aforementioned Megan when talking about AI taking over the world. And if there ever was a robot that would make that bleak future a reality, it's Little Sophia and her big sister. Okay. I know what you're thinking. Dan, making robots is hard. None of these campaigns started off as a scam. They tried, and heck, some of them are still trying. You want to see the campaigns that started off as scams, ended as scams, right? Fine, you absolute sickos. Here is Big Eye, the first personalised family robot that Disney is completely fine with you decorating to look like one of their intellectual properties, which is nice. Because if you don't decorate it, what you have is the most dustbin looking robot imaginable besides the actual robot dustbin from Epcot Centre. Oh my god, I'm such a massive Disney theme park nerd. Everything about this thing is pure, uncut crap. The slow geriatric movement of the machine, the creepy soulless Terminator-like scanning process, and the campaign video itself is obviously fake. That constantly moving camera when it's supposed to be still, totally filmed by some poor intern holding a camera phone, then including a filter to look like it came from a stationary machine. I mean, come on. Also, why would you need a doorbell when this giant vibrator can look at someone, not know who they are, slowly wobble its way to you, assuming you're not upstairs of course, to tell you that it doesn't know who's at the door?
Stranger approaches the front door.
Then again, I suppose she seems pretty chuffed with that. Here's a question. Who out there absolutely loves these fake, overexcited, happy infomercial families as much as me? In this clip, for example, you got a father and son having some good old-fashioned competitive gaming fun when the nagging witch of a wife makes the Diglett-looking wannabe switch it all off. It's time to eat. Ah, that's so sweet of you, honey. Thanks for ruining my bonding time with my son. What would I do without you and old Biggie here? Look, I hope you don't think I'm being rude here, but who looks at this and thinks, yeah, I want one of those. Even if this wasn't fake, spoiler alert, it is. Who looks at this and thinks, yeah, I'm going to spend between $750 and $900 on one of these things? And who was the absolute lunatic that spent $3,695 on a pack of 5 of them, and the 5 woolly-headed backers who bought 10 of them for $8,000? If you happen to know who one of these 176 backers are, disown them. Because this is what happened next. They hit their goal, raising just shy of $200,000 for this Texas company, who couldn't hire English-speaking actors because they were actually based in China. Shortly after the campaign ended, the company behind it sent an email to all 176 backers, letting them know that they were unable to complete the robot. They then asked for an extreme amount of bank details, way more than necessary, so that they could give them back their money. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking they're going to take all of those bank details and then use those bank details to take even more money further down the line, right? And when I looked at the comments section, from my understanding, that didn't happen. But you did think that. In fact, one sensible backer, sorry, let me just change that. One backer opened up a brand new account with only $1 in it so that he could pass over the details for the refunds. The process was apparently quite painful due to the language barrier between the backer and the totally not Chinese Texan company, but he did get his money back with 0 further issues. The problem is, you did think they were going to do that, and so did everyone else. They were rightfully skeptical. Nobody wanted to hand over an unnecessary amount of bank details to get their money back. Sure, some did, but quite a few didn't, which conveniently for the company is the perfect way to keep, I don't know, some of that $190,000. The perfect scam. The very next video is already available, and the next Kickscammer video has been scripted and is ready to be edited. And all of the supporters of my show will be able to see them early, along with all of these videos as part of Slope's Game Room's Password Zone. In there, you'll see every video I've ever created without adverts, without sponsorships, an insane amount of exclusive content. And again, it's all of these names that you see down here that are going to get access to the Password Zone. Thank you guys so much for your support, however you decide to support the show, whether that's leaving a comment, liking the video, sharing it on Reddit or in a Discord, wherever. This sort of thing really does help. These videos are not created in any way by AI. That's my new biggest competition. I still put everything I have into these videos. I really enjoyed editing this one. This was really fun to make this video. Hopefully that came across. And look, thank you guys so much for still wanting to see, you know, properly made content, you know what I'm saying? Thank you guys so much. But anyway, like I said, this part of the video I give a massive shout out to all of my supporters, all of the Game Room squatters out there, with an extra big shout out going to Thomas Coyote Baxter, Will Woodall, Livestream, Dina81, Kuma Tora, Villarreal, Derekuda, Enraged Gecko, Akatimo84, Ian Quell, Arista, Mind of the Unsane, XZX, Andrew Dalton, Brian Perez, British Video Game Nerd, Chev Matic, Chris aka Brackman, Conrad Constantine, To Action Saxon, Dina, Insidious Bliss, Jay's Manchild, Jabba Al Aiden, James L007, Jeff Mianowski, John Yaskatis, hope I'm saying it right, buddy, Keiju Samurai 1985, Livestream, Mike Fallon, Nicholas Bertner, Paul Float, Retro to Next Gen aka Lou, Richard Alderjic, Robert Ramsey, Ryan Burford, Shadow Dragon, Swift, Justice Peterson, The Sneaky Ferret, Vitas Varnes, and Ye Old Ham Burglar. Thank you guys so much for your support. Really do appreciate it. Like I said, I've already got the next 2 episodes already. Well, the first one's already done, and the next one will be done hopefully within the next few days. I've got a pretty decent Kickscammer coming up, a bit more eerie than this one, I will say. With certain segments, but yeah, that'll be coming when it comes. Thank you guys for your support, and until next time, this is DJ Slope signing out, and hopefully I'll see you all next time. Bye bye.